right? When we're talking about someone having a fundamental human right, in the case of Palestine, the human right that's most often neglected that we don't talk about here in the United States is self-determination. The foundation of our country was rooted not only in self-determination, but it was actually self-determination, the lack of paying taxes without self-determination, right? But at a much higher level, it's obviously just fundamental self-determination. Self-determination, what does that actually mean? That just means that the government that controls me, the policies that are in place at the system level, represent me. They represent my ideas. They represent my well-being, right? And so when you talk about Palestine, and this is before Gaza, has been happening since the founding of the state of Israel, there was no self-determination in place for the people of Palestine. Now, that's an issue in and of itself, but when it came to Gaza, and this is really where the red line got crossed, we crossed the line of territory from denial of basic human rights at the political representation level into basic human rights at the right to life level. And not only as people that are adults that are, we'll say, more able to accept hardships in their day-to-day lives, but in this case, children obviously were the driving factor, at least in my perspective, that really made me cross my emotional line. You can ask Katerina about this. I'm not an emotional person at all. I'm a very matter-of-fact, very rational. I focus on the details. I focus on the facts. I try to remove emotion when it comes to decision-making. But when you're talking about more than half the casualties are under the age of 18, when you're talking about more than 2/3 of the casualties are a combination of women and children, this is not acceptable, right? And when you're talking about cutting off food, cutting off water, completely isolating cities, bombing apartment buildings, this is not acceptable. This is the definition of genocide.